Pandemic economy winners. Saving for a house deposit in only 6 months. Let's have a look. Hello everyone, Florian.heise here and welcome to another episode of HeiseSays. Grab your stein of coffee. Let's look at this article from ABC News, which is talking about some of the winners in the pandemic economy and the lockdowns and restrictions. Some people have actually managed to get it ahead. And one thing I thought was quite interesting was this young couple, how they managed to save for a deposit so quickly. And maybe, just maybe, good old Bolt was right about cutting out the frivolous expenses to get into a house. What do you think? Let's see what they have to say in this article. So COVID-19 hit many Australians hard, but there were winners in the pandemic economy. That's right, we've got a K-shaped recovery at the moment. Some people are doing well, some people are flat out, some people are just been hammered really, sadly. In June of last year, Michaela Downey and Matthew Herdeman had a plan. Move in with the parents, save on rent, and build a deposit for their first home. This is why we're designing our house to have the capacity for people to come back and live with us. Then 2 COVID lockdowns hit Melbourne, and something unexpected happened. Their savings grew much faster than anticipated. The newly engaged couple were lucky enough to keep their jobs and consistent paychecks. And after months of lockdown, their spending dropped dramatically. So there's the smashed Avon toast. A weekend away can cost you $1,000, he said. Instead of putting that money to a trip, we just put that straight into a savings account. There you have it, guys. So are people learning how to actually save? If you really want something, you need to make sacrifices like a weekend away, like eating out, like little luxuries like subscribing to every monthly service. $15 here or there may not seem like a lot, but it adds up when you have 2 or 3 of them. So, and those savings added up fast. Miss Downey, 26, and Mr. Hardiman, 29, estimated they saved $35,000 due to lifestyle changes throughout COVID. 35 grand just due to lifestyle changes, everyone. By December, they were in the market for their first home, and they had lots of company. Now, could this be why? Someone said in a quote in the comments on another video, people have all of a sudden found their money. Is this why? Have Australians learned how to save? Have they learned how to cut back? Have they realized all these things that they were wasting money on? I wonder if once they jump into these homes, if their spending will go back to the old habits or if they'll hit it hard to try and get out of debt. It's going to be interesting to see. So, the houses were going really, really quick, she said. So every time we looked at a house, it was 2-3 days and it was marked as settled. Everything was going above the asking price. The couple also ended up paying over the asking price when they purchased their first home in Pakenham in Melbourne's outer east, and they believe it was a result of the spending changes brought on by the pandemic. That was the whole reason we could afford the house, was because we could save that money during the period, she said. Maybe that's the lesson we all need to take away from this, guys. Could that be why so many people haven't been able to get into a house? They just haven't really been forced to save. And this is forced people to save. All the weekends away, all the fun trips, it's all gone. So average households are better off. With JobKeeper and the coronavirus supplement set to end next month, many are bracing for the financial fallout. But there are also signs that many Australians have seen an unexpected boost to their household bottom lines during the COVID pandemic. In December, the number of new loan commitments to owner-occupier first home buyers soared to 15,205, 60% more than a year earlier. And it's not just homes that are selling. Household goods, cars, and home renovations are just some of the categories on the upswing. We had a temporary power pole put in this morning. I was talking to the gentleman who was putting it in, saying, "How you going? Are you busy?" And he said, "Yeah, no, it's really picked up. It was getting quiet for the last couple of years." And some builders we're working for, they've had more orders in the last 2.5 months than in the previous year. So just think about that, guys, and that's just money being fueled or poured onto this housing market. Now, I did a poll on the channel. Where is it? Here. Are you financially better off or worse off from the lockdowns? I thought that'd be interesting to see. 16% said better off because we are able to work from home. 17% better off, our industry sector is flat out. 12% are worse off, not being able to work from home. 14% have lost their jobs and they're worse off. And 41% our financial situation has not changed. It's not changed. Now, I have been doing shorts, and I'm going to take them to another channel because I think it's been annoying people on this channel. But we'll look at that, at the end of the week. Household goods, cars, and home renovations. There you go. I mean, the average household is definitely a chunk better off, Sarah Hunter, chief economist at BIS Oxford Economics, said. A lot of people are probably looking at their bank balances and can see a bit of cash sitting there that they weren't expecting to be sitting there this time last year. Ms. Hunter pointed to the household savings rate, the measure of the percentage of household disposable income saved every month. In June last year, after the first wave of the lockdowns, it surpassed 22%, its highest level in more than 60 years, but it remains close to 20%. To put that into context, pre-pandemic, it was more like 5%, so it's a huge increase, she said. Generally, across the country, there's also a lot of activity we couldn't do. And so there we just had a glut of spending that couldn't take place. And that's really what drove the savings rate up. And when savings builds up, spending is never far behind. Some of the best times I've seen. In John Buskey's case, the spending has led to a boom time. He's the owner of A1 Motorcycles in Ringwood, outside of Melbourne. Originally thought COVID-19 was going to shut his business down. No one's going to Bali, and no one's going to Athens right now, or going to New York or Paris, he said. They've definitely decided they'll use the money for something else, so you'll get a motorcycle. I guess, why not? He's been in the business for 36 years, said he'd never experienced anything like he did in July and August. Some of the busiest times I've ever seen in this business in terms of selling. We speak to a lot of other dealers and everyone seems to be in the same boat. I think from Cairns to Perth and from here to Hobart, it's going to be going very, very well. So the end of JobKeeper is the next test. Even businesses that struggled through much of 2020 are starting to see a turnaround. Matthew Venn is the managing director of Sanctuary Makers, a one-stop bathroom and kitchen renovation showroom that opened in early 2020, just as the COVID-19 economic shutdown took hold. It was very tough, he said. The business is the retail side of the country's largest decorative tile manufacturer and also struggled as projects dried up earlier in the pandemic. But we are actually starting to see some early signs that people are renovating more. They're more interested in actually decorating their homes, and of course that means tiles, he said. Some of those tiles are part of a bathroom renovation underway at Adrian Adrian B's home in Melbourne's southeast suburbs. Sorry, mate. My wife has always been asking for a bathroom for the last sort of 6 or 7 years. That sounds really familiar, this scenario here. Then the pandemic came along and I thought I'd start pulling it apart and have a crack at it myself. He and his wife and their 2 boys typically spend $5,000 to $6,000 on an overseas holiday, and not last year. We normally head off to Bali or Thailand or something once a year, he said. But then we thought, let's finally get the bathroom done that we've always talked about. According to BIS Oxford chief economist Sarah Hunter, what is not clear is how long this spending spree will last. A lot of the government support measures are going to roll off through the next couple of months, she said. And so for some households that might have a little bit extra coming in, that's probably going to reverse. The big question is, what extent and how quickly does that happen? And that's what people like me, the RBA and others, are really grappling with in terms of outlook for this year. So there we have it, everyone. Some of the winners from the lockdown. And the best story is the young couple that managed to save up for a deposit in only 6 months and not 2 years. Good luck to them. That's a great achievement. And maybe good old Bolt was right. All these frivolous spending that people are doing, if you don't spend it, you can save it. It may seem like an insurmountable task getting you know, maybe getting up to saving. But it's the same thing as even just paying off debt. Once you get started and you do the snowball technique, one thing after another, then you start realizing, wow, this is really working. I did the whole, you know, okay, every time I have $5 extra, or, you know, I save money, I just chuck it off the mortgage, chuck it off the mortgage, chuck it off the mortgage, till you start building up a big stack. Oh, look, I paid an extra week's payment this month just of all these little friddly money things that I've saved. You know, so a good takeaway here. Hopefully it'll stick for some people. As always, thank you for watching. Please like, share, subscribe to the channel. Let me know your thoughts and opinions in the comments down below. If you're a fan and enjoy the content I create here, there are a few ways you can support us. You can join us on YouTube or Patreon. You can support us using our affiliate links from Amazon, eBay, Independent Reserve, or AussieBroadband. You can buy merch from HeiseSays, use Gold Pass from the Perth Mint, or support us via PayPal. Take care, everyone. Have a great day. I'll see you next time. Bye for now.